Speaking of cults, the people that are most destructive and of no help to taking care of the problem when it comes to cults are the very higher educated themselves. For instance, this kind of stuff. Okay? Noam Svancer. I feel sorry if he sees patients. I feel sorry for his patients. What makes a cult leader? A personal perspective. Is Trump a cult figure? A look at the evidence. Well, Noam here doesn't show any evidence. What he does is show that his own cult, the university, trained him very well to ignore the real evidence of the problem with cults that are in like his universities, in the universities in general, and instead focus on someone that he himself hates because he's been conditioned through his university to hate the Trump man. Okay? But this idea that people that support Trump are worshiping Trump, no, most of the people that follow Trump happen to be Christians. We know that you don't worship man. None of these experts seem to get that, though. It's like, no, they think just because we support him, it makes us cult followers. No, the cult following is someone like you, someone like this, that has an inability to look inside his own backyard. So this goes on to say that Trump's a charismatic leader. Well, so was Bill Clinton, who becomes an object of worship. No, you people worship. You do groupthink. You liberals, you do groupthink. You learned it in your universities. And you saying that he titles here that he's insight therapy. As a psych nurse, let me just tell you, no insight here. No insight, no ability to look at himself, no ability to look at his own backyard into the universities. None of them do, because they've all been conditioned by their cult universities. And then wants to go on and say that people like me, we just label the people that want to hold Trump accountable, the Republicans, as rhinos. No, this man doesn't even know what a rhino is. A rhino is a Republican in name only. They're Democrats. They're like Noam here, but they're a politician, and they're really a liberal or a Democrat, like Adam Kissinger, who runs on the Republican tickets, because that's how dirty the Democrats are. But that's who these kinds of people support, because they're trained in their universities. Yet they're so warped in their thinking that they can't look in their own backyard. So the very fact that he titles himself Insight Therapy, well, that's just, talk about, talk about no insight at all. But here's another one, and I'm bringing this up for a reason, okay? Because this problem in the universities, it isn't just in America. It's worldwide, the cults of the universities. But this University of California, this was 2023. Why we're so obsessed with cults? Then goes on to say here, this is who the author of this is. Yeah, the expert here. Says how cult culture, once a fringe phenomenon, has moved into the mainstream, and what that tells us about what we long for and what we fear and who we hope to be. Oh, please, stop it. Stop going to school. Stop going to the universities. You come out stupid. You literally come out stupid. Again, somebody who can't look in her own very backyard, UC Berkeley, critical theory, that should tell you, that tells you everything she's about. That critical theory, that goes back to Karl Marx. That's a literal ideology of cultism. But would she see that? No. But our country seems to have this idea that, well, she has all these letters after her name, she's an expert. No, that should start to alarm people at this point. So this was in 2021. A couple of these I'm showing are BBC, because Nigeria on their campuses has a raging problem with cults. 2020, Nigeria's campus cult, Buccaneers, Black Axe, and other feared groups. This Black Axe, much of what they've done, they can't even disclose. It's so horrible. So, this Black Axe, it's very involved, and it's global. Yet again, started in a university's campuses. So why can't the psychologist who I just showed you, who's out of some, university, and that other critical theory woman out of UC Berkeley, why can't these people know? Why do they ignore all of this? They don't seem very smart. That's why I say, if it's somebody that has a bunch of letters after their name, you may really want to step back and ask yourself, is this really who I should be taking direction from? Are they really as expert as I think they are? And maybe I'm just assuming they're an expert because of letters after their name, and really at this point that should alarm people. Just being honest. A 2-year BBC investigation into Black Axe, a Nigerian student fraternity which evolved into a dreaded mafia group, has unearthed new evidence of infiltration of politics and scamming and killing operations spanning the globe. This article has warnings, contains detailed graphic accounts of violence. So it's very long. I'm not. There's been whistleblowers. A Dr. John Stone has flashbacks. It's not the blood or the sound of gunshots that haunt him. It's the begging, the way people beg for mercy when they die, begging him, begging God. It's so painful, he says, shaking his head with a shudder. The families of the dead, they will curse you. A curse will be upon your life. Dr. Stone teaches political science at the University of Benin in southern Nigeria, but for decades he was a senior member of Black Axe, a Nigerian mafia-style gang tied to human trafficking, internet fraud, and murder. Locally, Black Axe are referred to as a cult, a nod to their secret initiation rituals and the intense loyalty of their members. They are also infamous for extreme violence. Images of those who cross their path, dead bodies mutilated or showing signs of torture, regularly surface on Nigerian social media. Stone admits he took part in the atrocities during his years as an axeman. At one point during our interview, recalling the most efficient means of killing, he leaned forward, squeezed his fingers into the shape of a gun, and pushed them to the forehead of our producer. In Benin City, he was known as a butcher. This goes on and on. They've done stuff worldwide, okay? But they were in the universities, and then they moved themselves outside the universities, but they're still pulling university students in. It's a major, powerful crime network globally. Back to this one, which is the different secret cults in the university. Roland was a first-year student when he joined the Buccaneers, a secret illegal student society in Nigeria. A brutal initiation ritual was held late at night in the forest. Older members singing, dancing, and drinking formed a ring around him, and other blindfolded initiates beating them severely until the early mornings of the hour. The ritual was supposedly to purge the initiates of weakness and instill bravery in them. The moment you go in there and come out, you are a different person. These societies, also referred to as confraternities and campus cults, have names like Vikings, Black Axe, Buccaneers. They have a chain of command similar to militia groups, use code words, and have insignia bearing their favorite weapon of the cult along with its colors. Members are promised protection from rival gangs, but it mostly is about power and popularity. These secret societies are banned in Nigeria, and hundreds of members have been arrested and prosecuted over the years. Nevertheless, they continue to operate, especially on university campuses where they still attract new members. So it begs the question why it is here in America that the higher educated have an inability to be honest. And most especially, why people that work in psychology, are psychologists, psychiatrists, or psych nurses, I don't care, social workers, have an inability to step outside their own box and see that, no, there's a major problem in the very universities you all came from. And instead of you deflecting and focusing what your problem is onto Trump and Trump supporters, you should be looking in your own backyard, but yet because you've all been brainwashed and conditioned by your universities, you have an inability to be honest or be insightful.